What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday night. The Eagles are 2-0, so I'm having a pretty damn good night, and I know that we just beat some Viking ass, so I'm feeling pretty great. Look, I know there's a lot of negativity out there, a lot of people feeling a certain way about certain things, but look, to me, I'm feeling great about it, so I'm here to spread that joy with you. I hope you're all having a good one. Appreciate you taking the time. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. We're going to go through. We're going to talk about this game, the offense, the defense, what I saw while I was there last night. And, we're going to break it all down, just like we do with everything. I'll show you the snap count. But, look, this is kind of like a Fan Friday as well. Man, I cannot stand this chair. I'm sorry. But, look, whatever's on your mind, questions, you have topics you want to talk about, we'll treat it just like that as well. Not your typical Fan Friday here, but we're mixing them together, baby. And look, I am running on fumes here, so I'm going to do my best to bring you all that energy, but I'm going to need you with me here, ladies and gentlemen. So appreciate you all taking the time, whether you're watching this live or watching this later. Would love to hear your thoughts on the game. Appreciate you hitting the like button, subscribing, chiming in, all those things you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough. But we're going to get through this. I've got a little bit of voice left, and I'm feeling pretty good. So I want to talk about it with you. Now, Liz in the building to start us off. 2-0 indeed. Let's go. And they're not ready for what this team is about to do because this team has not even been clicking on all cylinders. We obviously have a new offensive and defensive coordinator. We knew some things could definitely be sloppy, maybe not as pretty as, a lot of people would like to see, but this is the NFL. And, a win is a win. And, you don't want injuries. You don't want to struggle, but these things unfortunately happen. So you'll learn from them. Next man up, whatever you got to do, and you go from there. So appreciate you tuning in, Liz. Hope you're having a great week. My man Lil in the building. Yo, dude, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you taking the time. Twisted in here. Let's go. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic week. I'm beat. Super long drive yesterday, then a long time at the link, and then the game, of course, and then I had to drive home and a couple hours of sleep, and it's just been a super long day. Was able to make a couple videos earlier to get out to you guys and do my best to keep up with everything going on. It always makes it hard when I got to travel then, like all these things I have planned out for these shows. So it's like, whatever, dude. I know you guys understand. So, look, once it's going to be a nice 11-day break, I'm going to need, to get some things together, and I'm going to do, those behind enemy lines. That's going to change a little bit because you'll see the stats from the first couple of games, and you'll, each week see that, where these teams stand, what they're good against, what they're bad against, the run, the pass, whatever. We'll talk about all that. So some things will change, but it's going to be an away game where I'm able to be home, able to give you guys all this information and, show you before the games. The first couple of weeks, I haven't been able to do that. Just the first one, ended up going to my brother's cabin, so that threw everything off, and then obviously was at the game. So just wild times, but I appreciate you guys all tuning in, all your comments. Tried to do some videos. My phone worked for a second at the link, and then, of course, went back to its old ways, so cannot wait to get a phone. That'll be very directly here. So next time I'm at the link, hopefully take some better videos, but I met some really awesome people at the link, Sean and Sean Jr., Shane and Jack. That family was really cool. We were parked next to them, got to play some cornhole, talk to them. Look, I met some great people throughout my history of being an Eagles fan. I truly love being able to meet up with some of you guys and get to see some of you guys again. It's always great vibes, but that first game, it's always something special, and everybody was so, well, I won't say everybody, but most people were pretty excited for the game. And, during the game, obviously, there were some times people were a little frightened, but overall, it was just beautiful to be there, losing my voice, screaming my face off, every third down, everything that counted. I was doing my best to make sure that I was playing my part. And, oh, my Lord, man, what a crazy win. What you don't ever want it to be like that. But as an Eagles fan, I'm kind of just expecting it every game, like, well, we're going to be a nail biter. Now, clearly, last year we were able to steamroll some teams. So, yeah, you get a little bit, I don't want to say that, we're spoiled. But, this team, I think they're going to get to that point. I think, obviously with new coordinators, things are going to happen. And on the offensive side of the ball, you can ask the people sitting on any side of me, behind me, in front of me, just screaming relentlessly, run the damn ball. You guys know how much I love to say that. Drew, where you at? Liz, where you guys at? run the damn ball. So I'm screaming it at the game. Don't know why we're trying to get fancy. Losing my mind. And wouldn't you know it, we start running the effing ball. And my God, do we run the ball well. And, DeAndre Swift, who would have thought? That still pissed me off, if you could tell, from week one that we didn't use him. Like, what are we doing here? So I'm losing my mind, even before the game started. Like, we better be using DeAndre. I'm like just screaming at people in the parking lot, just losing my mind. It was awesome. I love that. Everybody's fired up. But the Eagles really did a lot of things I wanted to see them do. And, I've been seeing a lot of Jalen Hurts. Oh, I heard it there. Like, it just, oh, God. I thought Jalen Hurts actually did pretty well. Sure, he had that interception that, I would have thrown that. But, dude, guys are going to make mistakes in the NFL. And, obviously, when you're there, it's harder to watch a lot of things, so you see it kind of differently. You don't have the TV where you can, like, relax from your house. You're, like, screaming at people. You never know, some drunk guy's falling down the stairs. You know what I mean? Like, shit's always happening. So it's different. But from my perspective, I really enjoyed what Hurts was able to do, because what I was telling people before the game is, look, these guys are going to blitz us more than the Patriots did. So you got to be ready. And sure as shit, that's exactly what Brian Flores is going to do. So that's what he did. And, they were throwing, cover zero at us nonstop, just bringing the house. And I thought Jalen Hurts did phenomenal when faced with that pressure. And, that one throw, the second one to Devontae Smith, both, he made a couple really good throws under pressure, but I'm just saying that one, man, where he's like taking that hit, like stands in there and you see him make like the gesture, dude, just, it was awesome. All of it, all in one. Him changing to, look, there's no safety in the middle of the field. I'm going to attack that. And what did we talk about this past week? So big plays, they happen, man. And I'm literally like sitting this guy like 2 seats down. He's, Hurts can't make the big play. I'm like, dude, at the beginning of the game, Devontae Smith, if you guys heard me talking about earlier at halftime, I'm like, it's going to happen, bro. Defense is going to get a turnover. We're going to score. Then you're going to see a big play. And that's that Devontae play where it's like, I just kept looking over like, all right, dude, it's the same dude. Hurts sucks. Get Gardner Minshew in there. Well, he's still at it. So doing my best. But I thought Hurts did really well. And, obviously he only had 193 yards, but he didn't have to throw so much because you ran the damn ball. And I don't know how much more I could stress that. The offensive line did well, and they had their struggles with pass protection last year, last week. So I think they did well. I thought Jordan Mailata cleaned a lot up. I thought he did well, thank God. But just this line does so well when you run it, when they're able to just run people over. And that is something that made my heart sing while there. DeAndre Swift, 175 yards, hasn't happened since LaShawn McCoy and the Snow Bowl. Like, holy shit, that was awesome to watch, man. So DeAndre, dude, so happy you finally got the damn ball. We got to see Penny for a second because Boston Scott was out there, but they just don't like what he's doing out there. They really just – and I was talking to my guy, and he was just – they don't like him, man. He's 4th on the depth chart for a reason. There's no hidden – nothing going on here. So he got to be back there for kick return. If he did take one back, I didn't see it. Just all touchbacks when he was back there. So I was like, all right, I finally get my wish. But, Boston Scott did well. What did he have? 5 carries for 40 yards, I believe it was. That's great, 8 yards per carry. But 6.1, I think, is what Swift had, right? So, hell yeah, dude. Run the ball. I'll say it over and over again. So, great. You got Goddard involved. I think he led the team with catches. What was it, 6 or something? He only had 22 yards or something like that. So, that's okay. When you're running the ball well like that, that's all you need to do. And that was something I stressed talking about the game yesterday. It was just dink and dunk. It's run the ball down their throats. And then when you've got these short passing situations, they're bringing the house. So get your shallow crosses, your slants, the quick throws, man. Your screens, whatever you're trying to do there, man. I didn't like a lot of the screens they called, to be honest with you. So maybe avoid those. But there was just a lot going on in that game, and I'm losing my mind here. But let me check out some of these comments over here. Losing their mind. Heard fire out here. Yeah, man, it's really crazy. I really just don't understand it, and I try to avoid it to the best of my ability because people I think they just want to be miserable, man. And to me, I was very excited watching, the running backs do so good. And watching Hurts take that pressure, that's tough. And, you didn't want it to be a passing game like that. Sure, A.J. Brown's frustrated because he had a couple plays called back he should have had. Penny was the reason for one of them. But you had so many things going on where you didn't have to get those guys involved. And 2 huge plays to Devontae, that's what you set up when you're pounding the rock like that. So I think, just a lot of the same play calls, but doing what you're good at. You don't have to get cute. And I kept stressing that the last week, this past week, talking about this game while I was at the game. Like, let's just play football here, bro. We've got a great roster. Accentuate to their skill sets, but let's not get too crazy, And I think we did that. And just I refuse to, listen to this. And we cut a practice squad linebacker, but how he's making a huge signing, all these all pros that are free agents. And it's like, okay. No, man, this is just kind of what happens. So, like, there's just people want to overreact, and I just don't see it, man. I'm still right in my zone. I'm here with you guys. And look, I'm a little low on energy here, dude. Old man River, but I'm right here for you, man. I still feel the team's winning the Super Bowl. I believe we're building a dynasty here. I don't think that anything that these people that are being negative or talking about Jalen Hurts or anything else, man, I don't think there's any substance when they're saying these things. You know what I mean? It's just kind of them being upset at life. I don't know what to do about it other than just continue to bring you guys the facts. So let them, But Swift, imagine that, dude, growing up in Philly, growing up, playing in high school, then in college, you're at the thing for a game or two, doing your thing. Oh, one day I want to play here. You get stuck on the lines. You're like, why, God? Why? And then one day you get traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are primed in, Super Bowl caliber team. Just imagine that. Like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you. Like, just imagine. That's coming from straight from the bottom. Detroit Lions to the top, Philadelphia Eagles. So, hey, man, I'm trying to make that happen with my life. So I'm happy for DeAndre watching that. I'm so happy for him, dude. It was really cool being able to see that in person. And, I'm sure you guys watching at home enjoyed it just as much. I'm just saying, like, it was so cool to be screaming at the top of my lungs. And for you guys that tune in, you know how adamant I am about run the damn ball. It's one of the damn emojis you can use. So you know how serious I am about it. And I thought Swift being here, that's what was going to happen. Now, I understand the Patriots are tough against the run, but I don't care. You didn't use them. So it is what it is. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to see that. Hopefully they just don't get stupid and, let Gainwell take over again. It's like, use them all as a committee like you did, but let Swift lead that committee. But Boston did great, So Nina, appreciate you tuning in again today. We got video number 3, and you guys are awesome. I really can't thank you enough. This is what it's all about, like being at the stadium, meeting fans, just screaming at the top of my lungs. You don't care who anybody is. You're at the piss or Ivy, even at the gas station at like 2 a.m. That'd be so cool, like to just be able to be live at all the time, for my shows, because it's so cool. Because this random dude, this is awesome. I wish Chelsea were in here right now, because she was like, oh, did you know that guy? Like, we were still like not halfway home, and wearing my Eagles jersey still. This dude was wearing his Eagles gear, and he said something about the game, and obviously I'm gonna whoa, let's go. I'm just gonna talk your ear off. So we just start talking, whatever, and then I was like, all right, I gotta get going. It's like 2:30 in the morning. She's like, oh, did you know that guy? And I was like, no, what do you mean? She's like, you like were having a guy. I was like, I was just talking Eagles. Like, that's not weird. She's like, yeah, it's not weird. You're talking Eagles. She's like, you literally were like, you guys were like just hanging out like you knew each other. I'm like, oh, dude, that's how I roll, dude. But it was awesome. And that's, to me, it's what it's all about. Watching, when you post, the videos of your mom dancing, Eagle, I love all that. That's, to me, that's why I created this in the beginning. And, I think I got myself twisted and lost, and didn't help all the hate and negativity being thrown my way for believing in Hurts and Howie and Syria. But hey, that's my fault for allowing that to affect me. It's like, hey, look, man, let people not like the Eagles. As I always say, they'll be fans soon enough. And here we are. And a lot of them are still upset, but it's like, look, let's just try to do our best to ignore the Dan Cilios of the world and just appreciate what we do have here, because we got a great fan base. You guys are awesome. Like, and I know I'm part of that for 37 years of my existence. And that's what it's all about. Like, being a kid, being at the vet, now being an adult at the link, like seeing people their first times and just stories of where people are from and, oh, I came from this place, I'm visiting from here. And you guys, dude, I've met so many of you. You know, I've got friends now in Germany and Canada and Israel. Like, you guys are nuts, dude. Like, I don't know how that's real life. Like, that's awesome to me. And I love you guys for that, man. And that's what these Fan Fridays are always for. But, you know, when you can make it a Victory Friday, I'm all about it because, you know, we got Thursday Night Football. And now it's like, oh, man, we got to wait 11 days. But I'll be real with you. I'm going to enjoy having a weekend, maybe throw some money down on some other games because I can focus on them now, not stress out about my Eagles. But, I might take a day or two off from making the videos because I think me and the lady are going to take a little vacation here because we didn't get that because I jacked my ankle and her and I didn't get that time. So I don't know, but keep tuning in here. You'll have the next week, you'll have the same schedule, although the game is on Monday. So you'll have some things that are different, but you'll get your behind enemy lines on Tuesday, stuff like that. I'm going to get that out to you. But there will be things I talk about. Just don't expect anything, to deal with next week until next week. You know what I mean? Like as it pertains to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So not breaking anything down in that regard anytime soon. Give me those couple days here, Saturday and Sunday, and then I will get up on it. But I'm always happy to have a Victory Friday. You know what I mean? And talk with you guys. So that's what it's all about. Even though I'm running on fumes, that's what this is about, man. And from gas stations to the computer to at the link, I love it, man. And I love all of you and I appreciate you all tuning in here. So Nina, I hope you're doing well. I need to know what's going on with Twitter that it doesn't ever show me you anymore. Cause I found you again. I was following you. I unfollowed you somehow and I was following you. I was like, I can't take this anymore. They really hate me. So I don't know, but did he not, right? I was just talking about that. 8 yards per carry, I believe it was 5 for 40. So yes. But oh man, I thought that overall this running back core was going to be awesome. I thought, oh yeah, like we're going to use all of them almost, but not using Penny week 1, that was weird as hell. Then it took Scott being out to even use Penny. So the fact that when my source told me this, like he was just flat out, like they just don't really even like Penny. Like he's just not who they thought he was going to be in this offense. And that kind of broke my heart. I was like, damn, dude, like I was hopeful, but we still got Swift and we got Kenny and I know they like them. So I'm fine with that, but it's just like, and B. Scott always gets slept on. So to me, I'm pumped and we'll see what goes down. And I told you guys earlier, Trey Sermon being waived off that IR, to me, that I told you guys that when that happened, expect when he gets healthy that he'll get released off of that, that IR because he passed through, he went waived/injured, which means he just got cut with an injury designation. So therefore, if no one claimed him, which they didn't, he would revert to the Eagles IR. So he was on the Eagles IR. People were saying he was cut during the offseason. Yeah, he was waived/injured. So that means he reverts to the IR. He was on that. So when he gets healthy, then the team releases. This is for any team. Then they release them. That player can sign with anybody. They can go do whatever they want. Now they're not stuck on the IR. That's just how the rules are. So what that means to me is the Eagles aren't making this huge signing. Crevan LeBlanc's not coming back from his 4-year hiatus from the NFL. None of that stuff. It just means that Trey Sermon is probably now going to get signed to the Eagles practice squad tomorrow because we've got a couple running backs banged up. So maybe they have him there. Now, Rashaan Evans leaving, they just came out with that news that he has other teams that are interested in him. So he's going to go elsewhere where he can actually get some playing time. Okay, that's fine. But the Eagles are going to have an open spot, and they're probably going to have an open roster spot once they put Avonte Maddox on IR. So unfortunate, but how we can always be wheeling and dealing here, we always have to stay into that. And when we talk about Brian, how well he did, I thought Sean Desai, did well also, just dealing with injuries, dealing with these things. They're both adjusting with these things happening. And I thought that B. Johnson, it's like, all right, dude, don't get cute. And he finally stopped doing that. So I was impressed myself. I thought the coordinators overall did great. And dude, how fantastic, doing what he could for the team last week. Just, okay, 1 carry, 1 catch. Like, what? He had a couple times where I thought pass protection was a little lacking for the running backs, but they had some nice ones too. So again, I was there. I have not had time to even rewatch it yet. So this is just, I'm telling you what I saw and how I felt about the game. So yeah, man. But I had overall an amazing time watching it and trying to just hone in on what really needs to be fixed. And honestly, the things that I was hearing, it's like, look, we're watching the game last week, but it's like, I'm sitting there like, you're telling me this team can't steamroll anybody. Like, that's just, no, if they don't make this stupid mistake or do something here, they clean that up. If, you do this, that, and a lot of it's play calling at the beginning of the game, the first quarter, where you're like, oh, stop doing this, do this. Like, you're trying to kill Hurts. Like, what are you doing here? Like, things where I felt like after that first quarter, I wasn't as pissed. Other people were still I think it kind of left that sour taste in their mouth, so they were still kind of pissed about. And then the way the game ends, that's where people are still like pissed. But I thought after that, they really started kicking ass. Obviously came out after halftime, boom, boom, boom. It's like 27-7, whatever. And, they come back real quickly. I don't like that. But you also are like, oh, shit, Reed Blankenship's out. James Bradbury's out. Avonte Maddox went out. So, like, all these things, and it's not excuses. It's understanding what is going on, right? So I just think, overall, loved this game, though. And I'm sorry, I keep going off the rails here. I'm telling you, I'm running off tubes here. Vanilla offense because we're saving things. No, it's just you got to do what you're good at against teams and what they're bad at. And that was running the ball at a team that was going to blitz us nonstop. I thought that was pretty simple. We talked about it last week. Well, this week, I guess. But, yeah, this is not Victory Monday. My head needs to stop thinking this is Victory. It's a Fan Friday. It's not. It's Victory. Okay, God help us. But my sicko brother, Jim. Dude, hope you're doing well. Hi. Not so well. Voice is trying to come back. I don't know how. I mean, I said to Chelsea, I was like, I almost had to wake you up near the end. I was like, oh. And I turned on a little bit of metal. I was like, let's ride. Like, let's go Birds 2-0. I'm nuts. Like, I'll just be by myself going nuts, especially when I'm going to drive till 3:30 in the morning. And she did most of the driving on the way there. She allowed me to get a lot of things done early in the morning, got there. And then it was, she was shopping. Then she hung out with my brother's wife. And then me and my brother, we go and we're tailgating. This time we didn't actually even set up the whole tailgate, dude. We were like, let's just go enjoy this. So, dude, Jim, I'm whooped, but I had a great time, and a big shout out to my brother. A big thank you to take me to that game. I was losing my mind the whole time. We both were just oh my God, I hope he's feeling all right, because I'm definitely like, I ate so much food, so much bad food for me. Just, I loved every second of it. I loved it. But I hope you enjoyed the game, my dude. You make Eagles passing game as of now, lost to AJ. I thought that, this passing game did exactly what it needed when it needed, and Jalen Hurts showed how damn good he was, because you saw him standing in the pocket. We talked about AJ and he. Clearly that's going to happen in football. Hilarious to see the media try to make something out of it. But AJ's frustrated because he wants more looks, but you have to understand that, you're running the ball well, and I get that he's frustrated because he missed a couple of those, catches there. So to me, he obviously – they weren't on him. It was getting called back or, something. So it's like, I thought, clearly it was annoying that AJ would do that, but it's football, man, and people get heated. And he and Jalen, they're fine. Like, let the media get twisted about it. But, yeah, Hurts did, in my opinion, phenomenal in the pocket, taking on, we talked about, you thought the Patriots blitzed him. Wait till you see what Brian Flores and the Vikings were going to do, and they did just that. I thought he did fantastic. What if in 2017 we used Philly before the Super Bowl? That's why we closed, because we can beat the bottom outs. I don't know what you're saying. Vikings suck, though. Eagles win the Super Bowl. I hope Kelsey don't retire. Well, they're probably going to retire. This is probably their last year. Don't want to get. Well, he's a little banged up right now, so we'll see. How is the? Are you asking who is the Nicholas Morrow? No, you can get hurt actually just in practice jogging, unfortunately, but that's the way of the game. Now, back to this game here. You unfortunately saw the news. We talked about this in an earlier video, but Avonte Maddox here, this blows. And you love the kid. He's one of the best nickel corners in the game, but looks like he has a torn pec. So I talked about it earlier. I think, if you've been tuning in, I don't stick with the hot takes and all that other stuff. Talk about what's going on with the Eagles. And for me, James Bradbury playing the nickel was due to if something like this happened. And Josh Jobe can play outside, Bradbury in the nickel. If there are certain packages you want Bradbury outside and you want Goodrich at nickel, cool. Jobe can play a little bit of nickel. Okay, you have versatile pieces you can move around. If you can't make a substitution, you've got all kinds of things you can do here. And I think, you can go check that video out for more in-depth stuff on that. But to me, it sucks losing Avante, but the Eagles, next man up, man. Just, you got to figure it out. So we're lucky. We have, the trio of corners we do, but Eagles were ready for this. Now, I wish, we're next year with Isaiah Rodgers, as we also talked about, because people talk about how great he is at returning, but I promise you, they'll be repeating me talking about how good of a nickel corner he is, because we talked about that when we signed him. I really wish I would have just looked this up, because I think it was like 58.1. Maybe it was 53. I don't know. But I feel like, his coverage grade is amazing, and his completion percentage when thrown against was awesome. So I think he actually is going to give you a run for your money at nickel. So I wish it were next year, but unfortunately it's not. So it is what it is. To me, it sucks. I hate it, man. I was so ready to just have another year of healthiness, but that's not going to happen, right? Like, that's just, we were so lucky last year, and it's like, well, next man up, and thank God we kept 7 corners. So yeah, I think those other guys will step in. They'll be fine. But, before I get too off track here, I did tell you the moves, right? I wanted to look at the snap count. That was something I wanted to do. Sorry. I'm telling you, I'm running on fumes here. I'm losing my mind. And this is a snap count for the Eagles game versus the Vikings. So you can see here, the offensive line, all 5 of them, again, playing 100% of the snaps. You love to see it. So Hurts in there. Smith, obviously, leading the way again. Goddard in there. Brown, nothing surprising here. Quez getting his snaps. Kenny G up in there. This is somehow from the week before. Is that what it? Damn, I must have saved the wrong one and uploaded the wrong one. I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh yeah, it is the second week in a row. I'm like, but that doesn't make sense because Quez Watkins, I thought only. Oh, okay, bear with me. Let me pull an audible here. Let's see if we can be Jalen Hurts and throw this up here real quick, because I did want to talk to you about this. So, that's not helpful. I apologize, guys. I thought I had that up for it, but I just took the same format as I had last week because I wasn't able to make you a graphic again this week. I apologize for that, but I obviously uploaded the wrong one, so my bad. But Swift was in there for 77 plays, so he was. That is not right. Who is this? See, this is why I like making my own graphics, because I don't trust anybody and I like looking this stuff up. Okay, I think we finally got it here. Holy shit. So running back, Swift had 58 snaps, 10 for Boston Scott, then he got hurt, 9 for Rashad Penny. Wide receiver, 77 for Devontae. He did lead the way again. A.J. Brown was 74, Alameda 35, Quez 11. He left the game. I'll give you all the injury updates as they come out with those other guys. After that, tight end, Dallas leading the way. Stoll with only 27, Calcaterra with 10. But we did see more 12 and 13 personnel, which I like to see because I've been asking for it. And just run the ball, please. God, son of a bitch. But then edge rushers, Sweat and Reddick obviously leading the way. BG and Derek, I almost said DB. BG and DB were the backups there. So Nolan Smith only getting 6. Can I talk? 6 reps yesterday. Holy hell. But we talked about why. I don't like reading things. Nolan Smith, we talked about why, he wasn't going to start off this season. Everybody said he was going to be the starter, this, that. Look, man, he needs time. I'm telling you from a source that works with these guys and not from a standpoint where he has to tell me stuff. He's not supposed to be. And I tell you things I am allowed to tell you. And, tells me what he sees. This dude's a beast himself. So he knows. And telling you, Nolan needs a little bit of work. And, Reddick's going to have a little trouble with that thumb. These are things that are going to be expected, right? But the media is going to use them. Eagles can't do this. And look, would I love to see more sacks? And now we're probably not breaking that sack record, but I still think it's going to be a very dominant team. So I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with these young guys learning and, getting healthy and being ready to play in the NFL. But interior defensive line, Fletch, another great game as a veteran, led the way with 44 snaps. Jalen Carter, 28. Milton Williams, 23. Jordan Davis only had 17 snaps. And let me tell you something. I was like jumping out of my seat. Not, no, I'm always jumping out of my seat, but I was losing my mind watching Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter yesterday. Just like, go! You guys know how much I love them. So seeing them just produce at this level, just, I'm a very happy man, and I feel like a proud father. So Jordan Davis, very limited reps, but it felt like he was out there. But they were actually throwing the ball most of the time, so you didn't really need him, even though he can pass rush. It's just a different beast, and we've talked about that. Go check out the defensive video if you'd like. Yeah, but Tua below two even had 7 snaps. And then you had Contavious Street with 6. We talk about this rotation, how deep it truly is. So I love it. I truly love it. I'm kind of pissed off right now because that graphic I usually show you has the special team snaps too. And sorry, I'm not going to try to look something else up again while I'm live with you guys. I would not do that to you. But linebacker, Nicholas Morrow, he had the most snaps, and he wore that green dot. We talked about this earlier. Love it, dude. And you guys know I was excited about him this offseason. If anything were to happen, he could take over that green dot. And weirdly, he comes off the practice squad, gets thrown into the fire and given that green dot and leading the way. But also Zach Cunningham. And if my brother were here, we were both quite impressed. He was around the ball, even in coverage, not just tackling. So good job to you as well, Zach. But I was impressed by the linebackers, and you only saw 4 snaps from Christian Ellis. So pretty wild, man. I was enjoying that part. Cornerbacks and safeties here, 58 snaps for Slay and Job, the outside corners, and then Justin Evans leading the way with the safeties. And Justin Evans had a much better game, and he was playing special teams too, dude. So good job, man. You needed that. Terrell Evans at 53. I thought he did well at times. I was kind of, all right, dude. But I thought he did good overall. With those two back there, I was a little worried, but I liked it. And Mario Goodrich with 39. We talked about him. In case of emergency, he was stepping in there. He stepped right in. Now, if James Bradbury can come back, you can use a nice mixture, but I think you would see Job a lot more than you would Goodrich. But you heard me talk about him this offseason making this roster, and I'm happy he did. So Vontae Maddox only played in 13 snaps. He looked good before that injury. I was pissed. Sidney Brown only had 4 snaps on defense, and then Kaylee Ringo and Eli Ricks with 1 snap each. So we talk about this. These young guys aren't going to play because fans, Madden, they're rated this. That's great. They're going to need time to learn these things, get acclimated with this defense, and when they do, they're going to shine. So let things unfold. Unfortunately, injuries are part of the game, but these other guys will get their time. I promise you, man. But the Eagles are going to rush anything. They're not going to do that. It's a long season, man. Just because the media doesn't understand that and wants to, season's over. Like, that's 2-0. You never want to start the season 2-0. Like, okay, dude. Weird. But I'm pumped about it. That really pisses me off. I had a much different idea there because I wanted the special team snaps. But whatever. I thought that Ringo and Sidney Brown did, again, phenomenal. Now, last week it was Sidney Brown and Josh Job. Job had to start, so you saw Ringo as a gunner. Thought they did great. I loved it, man. And those are the things we needed to improve on. Punting and, just the stupid things that you're like, oh, is this what we're complaining about? But it's like, I love it. I really love it. You know what I mean? So Swift run the ball last night. I don't know how it's not hard clear. Well, I think after last night, he proved that he truly is. But they're still going to use a committee of backs, which is fine. In the NFL, you should do that. Keep them healthy. I'm good with it. But now with Boston Scott out, who knows what's going on with Kenny? So it's going to lead the way. So let's go, baby. I'm all about DeAndre Swift, though. So keep using him. Damn, man, Serge, such a good player, but he can't stay healthy last year in the Dallas game. Yeah, he's gotten injuries before, for sure. Do we have cap room to make any moves? We've got a few. Got 3.5-ish mil there in cap space, but Howie can always fandangle, make moves if he wants to. He can put dummy years on. We talk about it all the time. You guys know that Howie can always find a way, and you can always check out those videos on certain players where how that money would work. Didn't Edmonds stop JJ on that touchdown? Maybe it was him. You're asking the wrong person, though. I'm going to be honest, as much as I'm usually pretty reliable when I'm there, I don't think I really remember a lot of things. I'm more cheerful, but I'm trying to remember which one you're talking about. The JJ touchdown. One play, was it Edmonds? It could have been. You're probably right. I'm so sorry. I don't ever want to give you guys half-ass shows, but I wanted to come here tonight. I'm pumped up, man. I am 2-0. It's how I wanted to start the season. So let's go. But I hope you're right. And if I'm not, bear with me, dude. Because, dude, I'm losing it. I'm losing it indeed. And I'm glad I can make you laugh there because that's okay. So I'm glad you said that, because when it happened, we're all like, yeah, like freaking out. Like, well, like some people are like, oh, he didn't even catch it. Oh, he did catch it, but it went out of bounds. Oh, and then like you can hear the crowd, like people finally. I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, it's got to be an effing touchback. He fumbled it out. Like, oh, dude, it was awesome. You see one of the players, and I think he might have gave like a safety stick. I don't know if that even did touchback, but I was like, ah, come on. And then like a second later, they finally like announce it, and everybody's losing their shit, and we're all like, yeah, everybody's losing their mind. And we're watching the replay a million times, and you know me, man, I'm always hawking it, like, but like I'm literally just freaking out because I don't care. I know what the play is, right? So like after all this time, I said to my brother, I'm like, who even did that? Like, what happened on that play? So I didn't actually even know that. So that's awesome, dude, that you said that, because that's truly one that I thought you were talking about something else, but Jesus, that goes to show you how much of a drifter I really am. But I'm telling you, it was awesome last night. And I remember at one point he was saying, I was like, dude, this is going to be such a long drive home. I was like, please don't do this to me. He goes, please don't. Like, they start creeping back. I'm like, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. But the defense made some mistakes. But let's honestly be real with ourselves. Nakobe Dean was out. You brought Morrow up from the practice squad, the dude that wasn't even on the team. You had Reed Blankenship out. Bradbury was out. Vontae Maddox goes out. It's like, oh, damn. So, look, again, not excuses, just context to understanding why there were struggles. And look, Sean Desai is still trying a lot of crazy things out. These multiple scheme defenses, match zone concepts, they're hard, man. And I always say that, man. These players got to be smart, man. You got to really know what's going on. And that's why we talk about less thinking, more playing. Like, you want these guys to get accustomed to it, because, trying to think about what you're doing and then making a play, like, that's hard. You want them just to be able to, get in a rhythm. So that's where we talk about preseason, getting things down. You're going to have struggles at first. It's going to take some time, especially with a new system, new players, things going on. And that's why you don't always see these young kids thrown into the fire. If you're someone like Jalen Carter, you don't need to be coached up. You're going to eat everyone's soul. And when you're in a position where you're covering guys, you got a lot of responsibilities back there, like, that's a different ballgame. So, look, man, I think that this team, bright days ahead. I hear the negativity. I see it out there, and I want to let you know I'm going to match it with some positivity. I'm going to tell you I love these birds, and I still think they're Super Bowl caliber. The injuries hurt. Of course they do, but I still feel very comfortable. Here's my updated depth chart I was showing earlier. So I put James Bradbury as the nickel. So when there are three corners in, Josh Jobe go outside. That's just my opinion. This shows 12 starters here just to understand the 5-man fronts, 4-man fronts, all the different things. And look, when there's two cornerbacks out there, it's clearly going to be Slay and Bradbury. But we play a lot of nickel. We do a lot of things like that. So, look, you're going to have to use, different guys. And I think Goodrich and Jobe are the guys for the job, and I'm excited about it. But this offense, I think clearly DeAndre Swift, to me, has got to be the number one. You can't go back from what you just saw there. I know Kenny Gainwell is still going to be a big part of the offense, but let's not have this discrepancy that we had, in week one. Let's not kid ourselves. DeAndre Swift is the better back. So let's effing go, baby. This offensive line keep dominating the receivers. I'm excited about it. And, I just think that this team keep growing, keep learning. That's what every season's about, especially when you have changes. And we're talking major changes. Offensive, defensive coordinators, and now you got these injuries. So let's bear with this team here. Let's be on their side and be understanding, like, all we got to do is be fans, have your back. Like, you don't have to follow the media and just talk about dumb shit all the, you know what I mean? It's like, why do people do that? Like, I know for me, I love my Eagles, man, and I'm always going to be a fan, but when they suck, something's going on, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to be on their ass. That's always how I've been. And you guys that watch games with me, I'm insane. But I don't understand the whole, like, jump ship, quit. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm right here with this team, always going to be. I read a Chiefs fan say we don't get into the sync until week 8. I think he was basically telling Eagles fans, calm down. Well, I think that, we talk about halfway through the season is when I feel like you really should, that's when you should be like, okay, we have our identity. Like, we feel good on it. And even then you're changing things. Injuries happen, especially toward, later in the season. So it's always ever changing. And the thing is, each week, you're changing your game plan as to what you're doing. It's who are you playing, right? So that stuff's changing. Even when you first play say the Commanders, right? They're after the Buccaneers, right? So you'll play them in week 4, then you play them again week 8 or something, which is really weird. But it's like you're gonna have a different game plan each time. You're gonna learn something different, right? And I think, especially though, in the first half of the year, you got to understand that these first few games, man, they're trying out different stuff. You've got different players, all kinds of different things going on. And that's, you want to stay cohesive. You don't want to get rid of a lot of people. You want to do, things to keep people intact. But this is the NFL, man. Things are going to change. And there's young pieces. There's this, that, the other. But we have coordinators that are new. So they're trying to get their terminology down with players. Everybody's trying to get on the same page here, man. And it's just, to me, it's like, holy hell, especially for the media people that get paid, where it's like, you should understand this, man. We're week 2 and we have all these injuries and we're 2-0, talking like we're 0-2. I don't know what planet we're on here. I don't like it. But you guys, you're awesome. And that's why I do this, man. Because without you guys, I'd be going crazy. Because it's like, dude, I try my best to try to teach people and just show them things where the things the media is trying to get them to say or do. It's like, bro, that's not how things work. I don't understand where you're getting that from. Why are we making this massive signing or trade because we got rid of a practice squad linebacker? That's the practice squad, man. Trey Sermon being waived. You can go back to the video from whatever, a few weeks ago when that came out, a month ago, where, you talk about how that's going to happen. That's how it works, but they don't know how it works. So it's like, for them to sit here and be like, oh, season's over, it's week 2, and they're 2-0, no team ever wants to start out like that, I'll tell you what, Rick. That's crazy to me, because it's like you're saying here, it literally takes time, man. And every team's going through stuff. So, that's why it's any week, any team can win, Trust me, I bet a lot of money on different parlays. You think to yourself, there's no way this team's not going to be able to do this, or this is going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, man. It could be raining that day, so they can't, run the ball well, get the pass rush going. They can't do this. It's so many things can, change. And that's the beauty of the sport. That's what I love about it. So, yeah, I think people definitely need to calm down. And you know me, let them keep hating. I'll keep educating. That's always been my mindset. I used to be crazy. I used to drink. I used to be a nut job Eagles fan all the time. But not like what we see here today. I literally have always been like this. Anybody who knows me knows I'm like a human computer with the Eagles, or anything NFL really. But I love the stuff. So I think for me, seeing people just act like they know what they're talking about from someone that does, it's like, what are you doing here, man? What are you so mad about? They just want to be mad. And it's like, that's just not how things work. I don't know why you're mad about it if you don't even understand how it works. It's cap. We don't have cap. Okay, well, you explain to me what the cap is. Explain to me what dead money, and they never know. And it's like, okay, so what are you mad about, huh? Something personal going on there, I think. But I appreciate you not being like the media. Hey, look, and I even made a funny video earlier. It just huge move on the way. I literally saw it from Dan Silio's place and all those people. I saw 10 posts. Huge move coming. I'm like, it was a practice squad linebacker being released. We're joking, right? And I even said, I made a post something people are going to be pissed when it's Trey Sermon getting signed to the practice squad or something. Huge move. I'm like, well, I mean, if Allie wants to make a move, it's not going to have anything to do with Rashaan Evans and Trey Sermon. It's going to be because Avonte Maddox gets put on IR. That's going to be the reason we make a move. So, he's not cooking anything. Howie's always just cooking, period, right? There's nothing special on the menu. Dude's just 24/7. That's just how it is, man. The whole damn menu special. It's always special. You know what I mean? There's no special time, no happy hour. It's all time, baby. Let's go. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you tonight. I don't know how I'm even still functioning here. I truly feel like I'm about to fall on my face, but I love you guys. I do. And look, tomorrow, again, I've got a lot of things planned for this weekend because we finally have a little bit of free time, and I'm not going to see probably any of that free time for a long time with this football season ahead. And it's going to give me some time. So if anything happens, I'll jump in, make a video, but no anything crazy planned where I'm breaking down the game or the Buccaneers. That Behind Enemy Lines will be on Tuesday. And after that, you'll hear everything about the Buccaneers. You'll get to know everything. And it's going to be different this week, too, because I got a lot more information, got to know them. You'll still see their offseason moves, but now we've had somewhat of a season. So you'll see their first 2 games, how they did, where they struggled, what injuries they're dealing with, updated depth charts, all that stuff. You'll literally know everything about the opposing team, not just the Eagles. You'll literally be able to tell everyone about their, like, what. So when you see a fan of the opposing team, you just be like, yo, name me 10 players. You'll be able to tell them their whole team, how their team works. To me, I love doing that. People want to talk football. And it's like, oh, yes, please. It's like, that's literally what I'm for. Like, that's what I'm here for. But half the time, it's just telling me what they don't know. So I'm going to, and I appreciate that because I need to just force myself to do it. Like, all right, you son of a. But you guys are truly awesome. Hope you enjoyed that game. We're 2-0. Let's keep that in mind. We got new coordinators, a lot of injuries. These aren't excuses. This is context. So understanding why there were struggles is key. But this team, what it should do is get you excited, even more excited than you were, because just think, we're 2-0, and this isn't even close to being the best that you're going to see this team. They're going to continue to grow, develop, get better, and whoop ass. Those younger guys you want to see, don't you worry. They'll be here. Sidney Brown, he's going to get his. Nolan Smith, these guys will. So do not fear. Just be patient, man. This is a long season. I know everybody's excited. They went to Super Bowl in week 1. I get it. Trust me. A lot of excitement for this team. But remember last year, everybody said they were the next Browns. Trade Hurts, Sirianni, Howie. So let's, not go from one extreme to the other extreme. Let's be patient here. Let the season play out. As Liz was saying, they really, I think that for me, just be patient. That's all. Play the Bears on Sunday. I don't know who you mean anymore. I'm telling you, I'm running on fumes. I'm sorry. But you guys, I hope you're all having a great night. Seriously, I better just go because I'm about to literally fall on my face. Love you guys. If you have any questions, you have any comments about this, you want to talk about this game further, please let me know. I'm not trying to, half-ass these first 2 weeks. It's just been pure craziness going to the game, going to the Poconos the first week. It's just been all-out war. But you'll get so much more content throughout the week, these next couple of weeks. We got 11 days until the next game. Well, I guess at this point it's 10. Losing my mind. Tampa, Jesus. See? Losing my mind. So I'll be watching them closely. Obviously going to go do my homework. I already have been. I've already gotten some things ready. You know me, Liz. I'm a sicko. But I'll be watching that game. So I appreciate you saying that. But, look, they're going to get it, apparently the NFL says Justin Fields is the same quarterback as Jalen Hurts, apparently. Look, Justin Fields, best of luck to you, man. But you got a while to go before you're on the level of Jalen effing Hurts. And Tampa Bay, we got a little something special for that ass because I still have a pretty sour taste in my mouth. And look, it's not Tom Brady, but it's Baker Mayfield's cocky little ass. So either way, I'm going to enjoy beating the hell out of them. They just beat the Vikings, too. Vikings 0-2. That's pretty wild. You think they're like, do we trade Justin Jefferson? Should we fire everyone? Like, I wonder if that's what their fans do. I don't know. But the media just writes articles. Justin Jefferson, the worst wide receiver ever. Like, is that what's happening out there? Because, best of luck to them. But I love you guys. I appreciate you all bearing through it with me. I'm doing my best to give you that content that counteracts that stuff. And, again, I'll give you what I can this weekend. But expect next week to be loaded with content on how we can whoop the hell out of those Bucs, whether it be behind enemy lines, the top 10 matchups. This week, you'll actually finally get the roster comparison show, which I created a cool graphic for and was very excited to do the last couple weeks and have not been able to do it. But with that, my plan was to give you the score prediction. I know you guys like those. I don't really care about that stuff, but I know you do, and I love hearing yours. So you'll get that this time around, a lot more. So don't fear. Content's coming, and it's not going to stop. But you guys are awesome. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend, and you're damn right, Liz. I agree with you. But I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. I've probably said that 30 times now. Don't know. Can't remember anything. But if you need anything, you can always reach out any of these platforms down below. You continue talking the birds. You can comment down below. You got anything from this? Appreciate you hitting the like button, subscribing, all those things you guys are doing. Truly can't thank you enough. I can't do this without you. Really great meeting some of you, seeing you guys, spending time with the family, all this. Eagles are back, baby. Let's get excited. Know that this team is only going to get better. Let that drive you through this week. Next 10 days until we have football again. Let people know the Eagles we're still coming for that Super Bowl trophy, baby. But have yourselves a great Friday. If any breaking news happens, I will be back. But if not, yeah, until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me, you 2-0 sickos. Go Birds!